Greetings, Benjamin J. from Ben's Trains with another in the series. Well, a new engine has arrived, and I thought I would do a quick video of the actual unpacking and see what it might take to get one of these things running. Now, this is a Marx 999. I found it on eBay for $10.49. So I'm going to open the box and see what kind of condition this is in. I got this cheap, found it on eBay, and it says it is complete. Whether it runs or not is a whole different ballgame. So let's find out. Trying to keep this centered here. So packed with newspapers, as you see. Get those out of the way. Well, it's packed well. I like to see that. All right, there's the engine. All right, bear with me for a couple minutes while I get all this stuff out of the way. This is always the fun part, finding these old engines on eBay cheap. I was the only bidder on this engine, $10.49. Now, it's supposed to be complete. Front and rear trucks, the whole shop. We will see. He did say it was missing the screws. No idea why, so obviously someone has taken it apart, but oh, there's a screw in it. Wow! I don't know if you can see this. This engine looks absolutely new. There is not a mark on this engine at all. It is complete. Wow. It did not look like this in the photos. $10.49, and I was the only bidder on this. Now, I don't understand that. So, now the question is, will it run? So, the very first thing I do, before I try to do anything else, is lubricate it. Makes a tremendous difference in how these things run. Let me see if I can zoom in on this a bit. As I said, this engine, look at this. This thing looks just absolutely new. There's not a scratch on it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I have a bottle of straight STP, scientifically treated petroleum. So we're going to go to the armature bearing and put a couple of drops. This stuff is really thick. Put a couple of drops right on that bearing. Saturate that just a bit. Turn it. Aha. Okay, this is one of the problems that I've encountered on several motors. It's frozen. See that? So all you got to do is oil the output shaft for the motor and the end of the bearing. Now, watch this. The motor is frozen. So, a couple of drops of oil, let it set for a couple of seconds. Put your thumbs on two opposing wheels. As you see, make sure this is in focus. And slightly rock it back and forth. And there you go. It is unfrozen and turning freely. Okay, so now we've oiled the bearing for the armature. And it looks like the armature is just absolutely filthy. So an easy way to do this is I have a little bottle of spray, which is 91% alcohol. So I'm going to go directly to that armature and give it a couple of sprays. Give it a turn. All right, and then the grand test. It's that simple. Will the motor or will the engine run? So, as I said, this thing looks absolutely new. It's complete front and rear trucks. Let's put it on the rail. Let me take the phone off the tripod. Shooting this with my cell phone. And now we can take a look at this. As you see, this thing looks absolutely new. There is not a mark on it. It's dirty, yes, but there's no damage to it. Okay, we switch on the power, and you've seen this from scratch. Showed up with a frozen motor, and whether it runs or not is problematical. I do not know. All right, power is on. Let's see what happens. All right, it's running forward. Let me refocus here. Okay, the E unit is not working. So let's walk up here. Now this has been sitting for years, obviously. Give it a tap. We'll walk back. And it's running in reverse. Forward. Oh, still stuck in reverse. There we go. This has not been cycled in years, no doubt. Still stuck in forward. So that's one thing you have to do is break these things loose. They get all gummed up and they've been sitting for years, and a quick tap will usually get them running. So let's see. All right, running in reverse. So as you see, this engine is just in spectacular condition. This thing looks absolutely new. It's dirty, yes, but it looks absolutely new. There's not a scratch on it. $10.49, and I was the only bidder on this engine. And that's one thing I don't really understand. You know, why was I the only bidder on such a nice engine? And occasionally you'll find an engine that just nobody wants to bid on. And I've never really understood that. Let me turn it around and see what it looks like on the other side. It looks just as good on this side. It's got the front and rear trucks. There's absolutely no damage to it at all. Numbers are worn off a bit there. But remember, this is an early engine. This one's from the 40s, possibly the late 40s. It's going to be interesting to see how this is going to run. So let's give it some more power. Goes forward. Tap it. And it's still running forward. Tap it again. And it's running backwards. So obviously I have to take it apart, lube it, tune it. There, switched that time. Light bulb is out, as you can see. So a couple times cycling this and it will very likely break loose. Still stuck in reverse. All right, so we go up, and these E units are just solenoid operated switches, and they get sticky. They've been sitting for years and years. And tap on it and it will usually change direction if, of course, it works. Well, it's running nice and smooth. All right, now the ultimate test. I'm going to throw this on a consist, and I won't even put a tender on it. I just want to see if this is going to run. So get it back on the rail. Let's pull this up here. Couple it to a tin litho consist. Now this is the, I think there's 21 cars on this. All right, let's see what happens. It's in reverse. It's going forward. All right. Now this engine has not been run in years. I've only applied 4 drops of oil to this and broke the motor loose. That's all I have done to it. Now it'll start running faster here in a couple of seconds as things break loose. Okay, that's 50% power right there. That's pulling 20 tin litho cars. Now I have to tell you, this is very likely one of the nicest 999s I have. This looks new. Once I oil that paint, it's going to look like it came out of the factory yesterday. This looks absolutely perfect. As you can see, there is not a scratch on this engine at all. So I just wanted to do a quick video of unpacking it, taking it out of the box, seeing what it's going to take to get it running. Obviously, it's not going to take much. This is running really well, and I haven't done anything to it yet. It hasn't been cleaned, it hasn't been lubed, it hasn't been tuned. I put a couple of drops of oil on the output shaft and a couple of drops of oil on the armature bearing and given it a couple of taps, and that is all I have done. So let's see if it's still running forward. Just trying to see if the E unit is going to cycle. Like I said, a couple of taps usually breaks them loose. Not that time. Well, it's still stuck in forward. There we go. All right, change direction. So it's still stuck. So it'll take a bit of lubing and tuning to get this going. But as you see, it is running, and that is the important part. So just wanted to do a quick video on this. Man, it's just really amazing that I got this for $10.49. And like I said, this is one of the nicest 999s that I have. It's just amazing. There's not a scratch on this, so it's been stored very well. Probably in a dry closet. There's no rust, there's no scuff. There doesn't appear to be any play wear on it. It is running extremely well. Let's take it around one more time and see how we do. Give it a tap, break the E unit loose, and it's off and running. Wow, much faster now. So really, really difficult to beat that. $10.49, and I was the only bidder on this engine. And a lot of times I just don't understand that. Why would no one else bid on this engine? The pictures were not as good as the actual engine is itself. This looks really, really nice. So I will clean this up, I'll pull the motor out of it, get it lubed and tuned, replace the headlight, and this is going to be an absolutely marvelous addition to the layout. Just an amazing 999. I now have, I think, 32 of these. And of course, it's one of the most common engines that you find. But when you can get them cheap, especially in this condition, for $10.49, how can you not buy it? I mean, how can you just walk away from a deal like this? So this is just the initial video of getting it unpacked. And a few minutes work, and this is going to be an absolutely wonderful addition to the collection. It's in really decent shape. It's going to run perfectly. I can guarantee you that. And if the E unit continues to stick, I will just bypass it, period. It's that simple. But the way it looks, this is going to be one really nice addition to the collection. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video on this. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And one more thing is I have to stress it. Don't overlook the junk. $10.49, and I was the only bidder on this engine. Just absolutely incredible. Anyway, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.